gentle clap. Now I'm gonna record, but we can have
some B-roll.
Some B-roll, little combos. So yeah, I just put a shot glass in the garbage disposal. Welcome back, everybody.
I put a shot glass in the garbage disposal.
I don't give a fuck.
Wait, I'm trying to think. There's a bar there somewhere.
I put a shot glass in the garbage disposal.
I put a shot glass in the garbage disposal.
Call it taking a dump. I don't
wait. I'll figure this out. I'll figure it out.
Call it shooting my shot. I don't know.
Wait. Hide the evidence. Put the shot glass in the garbage disposal like Tim Duncan. Oh. That's a basketball bar. Tim Duncan's Mr. Fundamental. He took a lot of bank shots off the glass. Feel me?
I really love
He's an all-time defender.
Recurring thing we have where you make sports references, especially when you and Marcus were together. You're both just, I have no fucking, I can't follow that shit. I don't know sports. I know Haikyuu. I know Blue Lock.
You watched Kuroko's basketball?
No.
That one's good. It's not as good as Haikyuu or Blue Lock. Blue Lock's just cool. Blue Lock has aura. It's got aura to it, if you
100%.
will.
This is probably the nicest setup I've ever had on any episode so far. I'm chilling.
I'm kind of frustrated because I got it to look like solid on my end. I was like, oh, look at my little. I've got my light in the right spot. I got like my camera pointed nice, and it's just the fucking sock mic looking at me.
It's all right.
Brian broke the fucking garbage disposal with glass.
Yeah.
I guess I don't even know what I did. I was moving my mic like on the stand. It's like adjustable, and it like the clip unclipped, and it just was like the mic face planted, and I was like, oh man. And then this part of the mic just became like fucked.
Oh yeah.
This came out, and then the washers flew everywhere, and I was like, not today.
Yeah, one day I'll get a new microphone set up. I've had this since 2020, and it is crickety crackety. Like the first couple episodes, when I was editing them, I was having a panic attack the whole time because I know they're gonna sound bad because every 2 seconds I'm moving it, and it's just squonking.
Squeaking and squonking.
And squonking.
I have been lost. They say I'm actually sure you'd ever have thought you could beat me with this loser shit.
What is this box? It's the Pirate King's treasure. No idea what's inside though. It's one of these things. I can't believe my eyes.
Well, whatever happens, happens.
I said 10 out of 10. So why does it feel like something's missing?
Congrats on the past couple episodes. You've been really helmeted on the editing.
Yeah. I like editing, but I have to when I'm not dying, it feels cool.
What were your symptoms even?
So, basically the pollen down here moves different. It moves way different.
It's
just like an allergy
H1N1
thing.
pollen.
It's fucking nuclear bomb pollen. We got the. I'm just
down
saying.
South pollen.
I don't know how. If this anyway. Because there's no bees left. The bees are gone. The bees seceded from the union.
I thought there were hella bees down there.
There are not enough. There are, but they're not enough.
All right.
There's so many bees, but not enough bees.
We're starting a GoFundMe for the bees. In which Carolina do you live in?
North.
East Carolina? Oh, okay.
Yeah, East Carolina.
Right.
Western Virginia Lina, you feel me? But basically the pollen took over my sinuses, and it doesn't take over your nose sinuses. It goes into your brain, up your eyes, and into your ears. So when you just your eyes are watering and you have a migraine, it's like
The Last of Us.
You literally, and so it just sits here and goes into your ears, so you feel like you're on a boat, and I'm just rocking back and forth nauseous, and my head hurts, and then I just threw up a bunch.
Yeah.
Way too much. I threw up way too much. It was
that's crazy.
Have you had a concussion?
Yeah.
And do you know how like when you're that like off balance, like a movement just makes you want to die, and you like I was laying on my bed, like, oh, my stubby hurt, you know.
Yeah.
I like rolled to the left. I didn't even roll. I just like turned my neck, and I was like, oh, and I had to like run to the bathroom.
How many do you think you've had? How many concussions do you think you've had? I feel like you've had 4 before you were like 12.
You know, if I had less concussions, I'd probably know.
You probably off the top of your head could have
I
figured
probably
that
could
out.
say how many I've had. I played football for a long time, so
Yeah.
I have to factor in like a cool 10.
You're only supposed to have like 9.
Yeah, extra
And
credit.
anything after that is
What do you
like CTE zone.
Extra credit. Extra
Yeah.
credit. Have you seen? I'm talking about the SpongeBob episode. Mrs. Puffs gives him the paper.
Yeah.
Extra credit. That was me. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I had 10. I feel like I had less, but
Double
I
digits is when it
realized-
gets scary in general.
Shit, man.
Not gonna lie, I'm worried about you, boy.
Okay, well, we'll just say most of them were minor or one long one. I think 5 minor concussions is just one big concussion, right? That's how it works. No.
I don't think so.
Concussion math is like,
I mean, you're in a different realm.
yeah, no. I don't think it was that many. I think that like I'm over exaggerating because I
Because of the
know I have
concussions.
because the concussions. I'm either underselling it or overselling it. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Can't be both. I know I'm not accurate. I know I've had one definitive concussion. I know one from football that I had. I got blindside hit and I was knocked out. And that was a concussion.
Yeah.
So I know that. And then outside of that, I also skated and I got a concussion skating for sure.
Yeah.
So I know there's 2 concussions like I can count.
Yeah, I know when we lived together, you were always like getting fucked up.
But I never got hurt. Like I
No,
never had a
remember when
concussion
you
where we
had
were-
that crazy ass hematoma on your arm?
Oh, that's like that was
wild.
like common for
Bro
that was
had
like I stopped
Quadricep
skating.
on his arm.
Yeah, it was fucking just a ball,
Yeah.
a meatball on my arm. But no, I used to get those all the time, and I thought I was dying. And then I was like, oh, it's just a bruise. It's just a.
Is that
flesh
what it
wound.
is?
It's a huge bruise. It's a
Was
bruise
it
that's
from-
so big.
Was it from an injury or was it like a
I just landed on my
allergic
elbow.
relay? Oh, I always thought it was like you were allergic to something.
No, I just landed on my elbow when I was skating. And I was like, is this freaking sweet? And you're like, it looks like there's jelly in there. And I was like, yeah.
It was scary.
You're like, you good? Yeah, I'm chilling, bro. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
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 This is very Huey Riley coded, honestly.
Jesus, dude. Making my elbow hurt. I just had surgery on it.
Yeah. You know, that's how you make your bones stronger. It's just you break them a bunch.
Yeah, I'm about to be strong as fuck. It's
Yep.
gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I
As
got
soon as
my
I'm not
bone,
weak as fuck.
my bone density measured. They're like, dang, your bones weigh a lot.
That shit is dense.
I was like, yeah, it's whatever, you know.
Man.
And they're like, it's because you work out. And I was like, Dee! Okay. Dee!
All
And they
right.
said 'cause it's like the micro fractures or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. They're like,
Um,
hey, it's the concussion kid. We gotta be extra nice to him. Your bones
Okay.
are dense. Your bones are so
you're
dense.
really like. I know the scale says you're a little overweight, but it's mostly bones.
It's just bones.
It's just bones for real. Thank guy. Well,
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you so much for the compliments.
Yeah.
Wow. It's because you work out so much. Oh, thank you so much for that. I really need that today.
We can't
Wow.
tell him he's only got 1 or 2 more concussions left.
Ah. They're like, it's a concussion kid. Here's an Adderall.
Oh my
It's
god.
just it's a sugar pill. It's a sugar pill. He has no idea.
I literally just opened up a pack of sour
This is a Mentos.
Skittles.
I hated
It's just
them on
sour
Mentos.
Skittles. Yeah.
Do you want some?
The
you need some
Mentos are the big
medication
ones.
today?
Those are like the
Yeah.
25 milligrams. The Skittles
Yeah.
are the 10s.
Yeah. I gave him a Tic Tac. Told him it was a Perk 30. That's a bar too.
Bro's napping.
That's a bar there too. Hey yo, sold a Tic Tac as a Perk 30. Profited $1 million.
Breath's fresh.
Breath, yeah, fresh breath.
Fresh breath. Fresh breath,
Oh.
perk 30.
So much ice in this grill. I got fresh breath.
Yeah.
Nah. Anyway,
I feel like there's something there. We'll workshop it.
we'll workshop it. I'll come back to you in about a week. Oh, I just used the Paul Wall bar. What do you say? Diamonds and all this ice. All hands set. Feel like I could cause a cold breath. I could cause a cold front if I take a deep breath.
Man, I love
so
Paul
cool.
Wall,
He's
honestly.
so cool. Yeah, Paul Wall. It could not be a person in the Boondocks. I don't think. Like I feel
don't know.
like Paul Wall
He
beats
was
the Boondocks
that would have been
allegations.
that would have been a good time to have had. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised he wasn't.
He
honestly,
could voice act in it.
that's
though.
what I
can
mean.
see it.
Yeah,
But he's like way too cool to be like Ed Wunsler Jr.
Oh no, that's not true.
Yeah,
That was Charlie Murphy.
I mean, that Charlie Murphy makes it work because Charlie Murphy is cool in real life. But
Yeah.
he's also a comedian, and he's like
Yeah.
able to make fun of that character. Paul Wall is too cool
Oh,
to
I
be
see.
a rich, like just some rich kid
Yeah,
wearing inspired by 50 Cent.
I was watching a couple episodes before we started recording, and it's funny they had Sway on there as Sway. But
I
they
love
had
that.
like the breaking newscast. He's like, "I'm Sway, and this is my ridiculous hair wrap." Anyway,
Yeah.
and it's just funny. Like the things they get the people to say is so funny. Like Samuel
Yeah.
L. Jackson literally quoting like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
They
And
were.
then,
I know they were geeking in the booth when they heard that shit.
they were like,
Like, we got him to say it
Oh my god.
for free.
My favorite was they had what's his name? Who plays Granddad? I can't think of his name right now.
John Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon plays John Witherspoon in an episode for 2 seconds.
Oh, on the Friday.
on the Soul Plane too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who are you? And that's like I think it's his only line or something like that. Or like
Yeah.
what?
All right, so let's
Go
just jump into it. Today's episode, as you can tell from the title, unless you just don't read titles and have it on autoplay while you're at work like I do when I'm at work, this is the Boondocks. We're talking about the Boondocks today.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
the Boondocks. Love the Boondocks.
Boondocks
So
is
it's
pretty fucking sick.
pretty sick. When I was researching, I was looking at a lot of the comics instead of the show because I've watched the show. The show is one of the it's like Adventure Time to me still, where I've watched it so many times where like I could talk about it without looking.
Yeah.
Like not looking, but like I just know the episodes because I know exactly what happened to them.
Yeah, like basically the first like 10 seconds of the episode I know what's going to happen. But it's been like I realized when I was watching it and when I was doing research on this, I was like it has been like a long time since I've watched the Boondocks actually outside of
Yeah.
in my head. But I'm glad I like got to revisit this. It was a good topic you picked this week.
I got a supercut of us. Lord, you feel me?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, the
She
creator
should
of
be on the
Boondocks-
Boondocks.
She should have been absolutely. She reinvented pop music just like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Um,
I do have a one quote I want to say to start this off before we really jump in.
Okay.
Ready?
Me.
All right, I have a brief announcement to make. Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan was the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. Thank you for your time and good night.
The comic does that joke insane. That's what that was gonna. I was about to bring up that joke. It's so much crazier in the still that he wrote for it.
Why is
That joke is Huey calling the FBI
Oh,
to the FBI terrorist line to to snitch on Ronald Reagan for his involvement in 9/11.
oh wow.
I was like, oh my god! And you know when that comic panel came out?
When was it?
October 4th, 2001.
What?
Like 3 weeks after 9/11, they made that joke.
Oh wow,
I was like,
that's
oh,
crazy. What
and
was
that's
it?
not even the.
What? I don't even. I never really found out what it was in. All I found was that it was in newspapers. Like, what was it actually published under? Do
It
you know?
was Diamondback. I think it was like a small media. I'm gonna look if I can find the other name. I know Diamondback was like a small one.
Yeah,
Publishing it.
I know you can find it at Barnes and Nobles.
And
We out here at Barnes and Nobles. Y'all thought Ebas couldn't read? I'm half black and I really don't like saying the N word
Yeah.
for the record.
And I
show,
do. And I do.
That is, and my brother does. All power to
You know
him.
what's really
but this show, it's going to be so hard to do this episode without dropping it. But, you know.
It's so funny though, is because I remember the first time I ever said it was because I was quoting Riley, and you heard me. This was in the Blue House in Mishawaka.
Okay.
Upstairs. You know how our rooms were connected?
Yeah, it was dope, actually.
Yeah. And so what'd you say? It was like I said, can a nigga borrow a French fry? How's a nigga supposed to borrow a French fry? And you like I heard your like neck snap in the other room. And you ran over like, don't say that. Bow, and like punched me in my leg. I was like 5, so like I don't know what those words mean. And so
that sounds about right. I don't really remember it, but that does definitely sound like something that would happen.
And you were like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
Because it was
I know.
when you walked back to your room, just like, not even mad, just like, damn it.
What have I done? Yeah, I
Bro,
know. I
was
do
like-
feel like our like Adult Swim addiction growing up was like a huge part on me. Just like having you 5 years younger than me, and I shouldn't even be watching Adult Swim, but then you like next to me watching it.
We're
with me.
playing Def Jam.
Yeah,
I'm 3 years old. The first game I remember playing is like Def Jam on the GameCube.
yeah.
And I was
Fight for
like,
New York.
Shut up, bitch. And you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Oh, yeah. And then that just transitioned to watching the Boondocks and being like, this is what real life is.
Yeah, I really love like what I love about the Boondocks is like it's not the same, but they like we don't have the same at all, but they were from like the city. I don't know if they ever say. I think it's Chicago. I don't know if they strictly say they're in Chicago
It's
before they moved to Woodcrest.
Yeah. I think it is straight
But
up Chicago. In the
I
show,
kinda
they say
think it
Chicago.
is.
Or they say St. Louis. It's one of the two. I know it's a Midwest city.
Well, that's the thing
it's-
that I have like a note on is they never really say what suburb Woodcrest is of, but it's both Chicago because they have the skyline with the Sears Tower, Lake Michigan, and Michigan Avenue. But then they also have all the area codes are Baltimore area codes, and then they like walk over essentially to Obama's inauguration. So it's
Yeah.
like all three. But what I was getting at is like what I love is like we grew up in really pretty rural leaning suburbs of South Bend and Michigan. And we were like
Yeah.
the only black kids, and we're only half black, which isn't like an only thing, but like we're
Yeah.
not white kids ever.
Yeah.
And the way the Boondocks just is, like Huey and Riley, how they like exist in this community, just felt really relatable in a way to
Mhm.
me. But like again, I'm not,
Yeah, and I think even then though, like we like existing in that environment, whatever. But beyond that, like the people, like they did such a good job. Just like feel like you're saying, like it's relatable to be in an environment like that. But like the
Yeah.
way they handled a lot of stuff, like not like their extreme moments of the show or the comic, even, but like the small stuff, like just like Uncle Ruckus interactions, and he gets
Yeah.
people to follow his church, and it's like going to white heaven, and if like you know, yada yada yada, and or like the nigga moment episode where they're like, oh, I'm white, I don't have to worry about this, like those things.
Yeah.
And then like the actual racism that's in the show is just so dry. Like it's the response
Yeah.
to it being so dry is why I felt like it's relatable now. Like looking back,
Yeah.
when I'm looking back on my childhood in that like those areas,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
feel like they were it's kind of funny to say that it's like timeless, but it has really been for like the past 25 years in the new millennia. The way the racism is portrayed is like spot on
yeah, like
in like a timeless way so far at least like
the even like the can they borrow French, right? Like that whole thing, like that is
with the teacher.
my
Yeah.
because I had teachers. I had we had an all white school, and I had teachers
Yeah.
who said the N word when they're like reading stories or whatever. And I talked to them, and I was like, I just don't think it's appropriate for you to do that, even if it's like a book. Like I feel like you could skip it. You know, you don't gotta say it.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, no, I'm gonna read it how it's written. And I was like, yeah, but I'm gonna not come to class if you're
Yeah.
gonna do that. Like I don't really feel like
Yeah.
it's
Cuz I'm the only
yeah,
black
like
kid
every
here.
time you say it, everyone looks
Yeah.
at me. You feel like I don't,
Yeah.
yeah. Or like when you're in class, in the history class, they start talking about slavery, and then they just like, what do you know about this subject? And you're like, I
Yeah.
don't know anything. We're in the same class, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love that. I don't know if you've seen that Tony Statovci TikTok where he's like talking about the teacher reading fucking what's it
is it Tom Sawyer or something like that?
yeah, Tom Sawyer, yeah, and the teacher's like, all right, everyone settle down, all right? I'm going to read this paragraph cuz I know y'all can't. Are you listening? Are you ready? I'm about to say it. Are you listening? All right. And just like and then it just ends. It's so funny.
Yeah, no. And then oh yeah, the other comic that I saw that was insane again was about 9/11, and this was 2 weeks after the Ronald Reagan one.
Aaron Magruder is so funny.
He's insane. So he made it's like editor's note. That's how the first panel. This is editor's note for the select few who are not daily readers of this comic. The Boondocks has been indefinitely replaced with the inappropriate fun of the adventures of Flaggy and Ribbon. And then it's a Ribbon, and it goes, "Hey Flaggy, I heard someone on the radio say that if we kill innocent people, we're no better than terrorists." And then the American flag just goes, "That's left-wing radical hippie communist thinking, Ribbon. You talk
Oh my
like
God.
that again, I'll have to drag you out to the road and shoot you."
Oh my god.
I was like, and I'm just reading.
That's
I'm
so
going back and
funny.
trying to like find these, because it's just a
Yeah.
line. There's like not much. I'm like, jeez, this like, it's one of those things where the show is very direct, but the show could never do what the comic actually did. Like the comic is insane. The backlash the comic
Yeah.
got was like insane. There was a senator, an old segregationist senator that passed away, and the comic is just Huey and Riley throwing like a birthday party, and like jumping up and down, and being like, "Let's
That's
go!"
awesome.
And
That's
like
so
that's
funny.
like the whole panel. That's it. And there's nothing else.
That's like what memes today are.
And then there was one that was like in a different world where Bush has to do a second redo the election in 2004, and it's like this black kid wearing a do-rag, he's wearing a backwards hat. He looks like a Fat Albert character,
Yeah.
and it just like it's like the compassion, pass it on, like you know what I'm talking about, like those videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like voting. It ain't worth it, homie.
Oh wow.
And
That's so funny. That's in the comic?
yeah, it's like this was paid for by George W. Bush.
That's so funny.
I was like, God, they were just doing whatever they wanted. I was
Yeah.
like, I actually like he was really cooking. It's insane what he was doing though. There was an Uncle Ruckus McDonald's ad they made. Like he was just doing insanity in the comic that like I know the show is crazy. They talked about like
Yeah.
R. Kelly and Kobe like the day
Yeah.
it happened on the show. But in the comic they talk about Kobe for a full year.
Oh
Like,
wow.
every other chapter is about Kobe, and then the other with the R. Kelly was just like, what's today's date, Huey? And then Riley's like, Huey's like, I think like September 3rd, 2003. He goes, R. Kelly's really gonna be free, man. Like that's the whole, the whole.
That's so funny.
It's like, what?
Yeah, and then R. Kelly goes on trial actually and is in
He's
prison
found
now for
innocent.
30 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good just like commentary. I
Yeah.
feel like the Boondocks, like what they really did well is like the same thing South Park does, but just like in like a black like
Yeah.
viewpoint in a way. And even really a lot of it is outside of even like black culture, which I also think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's very pop culture.
it's just very real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more pop culture. I think specifically black culture. I just think that I think the commentary, one of the biggest commentaries from the show in general, like not just one episode, but the entire show, is that like American culture and American pop culture is so heavily dependent on black culture.
Yeah.
Because of like
100%.
black entertainment is like what is controlling entertainment,
Yeah.
the entertainment industry like as a whole. So like
And yeah.
that's why I was like, yeah, you can talk about anything you want on this show because it'll all pertain to the same core idea that the fundamentals of this is still, around black people.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of black entertainment, the Boondocks was originally started in 1999, and he tried pitching it to BET, and they felt it was too networky until Mike Lazo picked it up from Adult Swim, and he got the pilot from his friend who worked at BET, who came over to work on the series too. His name was... Oh, I thought I had his name written down. But anyway, that guy that they don't even like anymore, because then in like one of the season 3 episodes, they just fucking roast him the whole time. But he's on like the intro title cards for up until season 3.
yeah,
But Mike Lazo is awesome as just who he was at Adult Swim. He picked up so many shows that were like
weird.
not weird, because like the Boondocks is a black anime, which is wild as a concept.
Yeah.
It's a black sitcom anime.
And it's like not just a black sitcom anime, but it's a politically black
charged
sitcom,
black sitcom
anime.
Yeah.
Where one of the main characters is a guy who's black and says he has reverse vitiligo and is so
Yeah.
racist. It's just it's not even trying to hide the fact that it's insane.
Yeah.
As a concept. And I think it's funny as people today, like a lot of people misunderstand the Boondocks, and they're like, "Oh, the Boondocks wouldn't last today because people are too soft." And I'm like, the people are calling soft is who the Boondocks was made for. Like it's like satire. They're able to understand what the Boondocks is about. You are not. like that's the problem. It's not too you're not too soft. You just don't understand what they're saying. Like, you just laugh at the jokes because you're racist, not because you get the joke. That's
Right.
why I'm like Uncle Ruckus is a hilarious character, but not because Uncle Ruckus is funny to laugh with. And that's like the issue is people laugh with him because they're like, he's low key spitting sometimes, and you're like, no, what?
No, he's not.
Please.
Oh, that did just remind me of an episode I wanted to bring up. I don't think I wrote down the number of it. It's in season 3. I think it's called The Hateocracy. It's the third Stinkmeaner episode when his like crew comes back.
Yeah.
And one of the dudes to Granddad gives this like crazy analogy about Iba moments where he's just talking about they're fishing and there's like crabs in the bucket.
Yeah.
And he's like, crabs are just armored creatures that their only purpose is to bring down other crabs. They are not strong enough to like take down anything else. They can't even walk straight. They just bring down other crabs. And like I'm paraphrasing hard as fuck, but the analogy is like really great for just like black on black violence and like how senseless it can be a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. And Yeah, and there's like that one. There's like the overall show has I think the biggest example of like the misunderstanding of the show is when it comes to homophobia,
Oh
because
yeah,
people
they're
genuinely,
great about
yeah,
it.
like
Honestly,
it's like the joke isn't like gay people are wrong. Like that's the issue.
yeah,
Is like Huey's the only person in the entire show that isn't like openly homophobic,
yeah.
and that's it. That's like the point.
But and yeah. Like
And
homophobia being a joke can be so funny when it's done as well as it is in the Boondocks.
yeah,
Like it just shows the ridiculousness of being homophobic and racist. Like the show just shows how ridiculous like hate is in general, and it's just so good at
Yeah.
like
and
breaking
what
that
was
down.
it? When Riley finds out that Gangstalicious
Gangstalicious,
is gay,
yeah.
he's like, if he
Voiced
gay,
by Most Def.
if he gay, and I'm his biggest fan, that make me
Yeah.
gay, don't it?
He
Yeah.
just like straight up to his face, like, tell me right now, man, you gay?
He's
You
crying.
fucking gay?
You fucking gay.
And he's just like, no, man.
He's like, man, Riley, if the thing that happened was, like, he's like, I know you could never be gay, Gangstalicious. He's wearing a skirt and like a crop top.
Thugnificent and his
Homies over
crew,
hoes.
the Lethal
Homies
Injection
over
crew,
hoes.
are like hiding from him when they're
I'm
supposed to do that song
Thugnificent,
together.
yeah. I
So
like.
funny.
There's the Thugnificent's also a great character in general.
I love Thugnificent.
He's
It's
so funny. What's it called?
I forget that this is the song that's in my head for the past 20 years. Is booty butt, booty butt.
Booty butt.
That's
cheese.
Thugnificent.
I get it's terrible and terrible. That's where I'm from. Terrible and terrible. That's where I'm from.
That's so funny. And then fuck Granddad
Fuck
with
Granddad.
Nate Dogg.
Or stomping again nuts.
Stomp him in the nuts. Stomp him in the nuts.
And
Certified hood classic.
This is a certified hood classic. Dick riding Obama.
So fucking good.
All the songs are hilarious too. And then homies over hoes. Do the home
So
man.
good.
And but the Gangstalicious making the clothing line and goes,
Yeah.
what's that flap for? I mean, you see, if you got the strap on you, you don't want to let people get the run up on you be too quick. So you the flap, you can get the gun out real quick.
Yeah. So funny. I just watched the first episode he was in actually, and
Yeah.
he's like, Sway. When I was talking about his hair wrap earlier, he's like, Gangstalicious got shot again, and then it's like it was actually at his concert while he was ironically performing the song "I Got Shot."
I got
And
shot.
then all the people in the crowd, he's like, "I got shot," and they're like, "I got shot," and he gets shot.
And he's like, oh, I got shot. And they're
It
like,
took
oh,
45 minutes for the ambulance
I
to
got
arrive.
shot. No, really, this time I got shot again.
And they're all just repeating.
Yeah, my
They ran
favorite.
up on me and I got shot. Goddamn, call an ambulance.
Yeah.
They ran up on me and I got shot. Goddamn, I called an ambulance.
My favorite episode is the basketball episode with Riley. It's,
that's a
it's
good
the
one.
Like Mike episode. So it's just like Mike but with
Yeah.
Riley. And
His rival.
with Susie. He goes, I
Yeah.
heard you. I heard your mom was in the bathroom at the country club giving top to someone who wasn't your daddy.
So fucking funny.
Your mom does cocaine. She's like,
Oh,
oh. She runs up to court crying. He's like, the kid comes in, he starts counting. Drops
Yeah.
like a cool 30 on Riley's head. And then they make the movie. And I forgot who played Riley, but it was like someone insane. They're
Yeah.
like, Riley Freeman's gonna be played by, and it's like just this huge dude.
yeah.
And they had like Macaulay Culkin as the star for the kid with like autism.
That's so funny.
Oh my god, I love that. That's like my favorite episodes though, just in general. The whole thing, he's like, Shaq, how you feel that Riley is like, He's like, you're not a hater, Shaq? No, I'm not a hater. You don't feel some way about Riley riding on 24-inch chrome, making more paper than you, stacking paper than stealing? You don't feel no way about that? No, it's cool. I actually like Riley a lot. You sure?
Was it actually Shaq? Probably.
It might have been. I think it might have been. I just know that they just were like throwing people in there, so it could have
They
been
got
anybody.
so many people in there. I really like the just Pimp Named Slickback episodes. They're
Pimp
all
Named
just so fucking funny.
Slickback. You know, you gotta say the whole thing.
Slickback. That's what I said.
No, nigga. Anyway. What was the other one? The other shit. Oh my god, when
He's like, it's like a Tribe Called Quest. You gotta say the
the
whole
whole
thing.
thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, there was another episode when Tom is like thinks his wife's cheating on him, and
With
Slickback,
Usher.
yeah, and Slickback comes in. And he's like, "Man, you gotta know how to control a woman."
Yeah.
And then Tom's like, "I don't know how to do that." And then
So
it's just the worst advice known to man directly after.
The Let It Burn part of that episode
Yeah.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Burning.
Boo! Hey, Tom, shut the fuck up.
Boy, watch your mouth. Tom, shut the fuck up.
I know it's crazy about that too, as I saw a TikTok today of an Usher concert, and this like lady was like, Usher does this thing where he brings a girl on stage and he like talks to them,
Yeah.
and he like leaned in all close to her, yada yada yada. Cameras zoomed in on her lips, zoomed in. They zoom in on her ring, or like a ring first, like she's married, and then zooms
Yeah.
in on her lips, and she's like, "You could do anything to me, I'll do it."
Oh my god.
And then that's all that video was, and everyone was like, "Oh, she folded hard."
Yeah, immediately. That's Sarah right there.
Yeah, Sarah smile. And he starts singing
So
it,
funny.
and Usher comes up and sings a song.
Yeah, at the dinner. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then what was the other singer? Pretty Boy Flizzy. He's the later one.
Oh, not Chris Brown.
Yeah, not Chris Brown. Pretty Boy Flizzy has assaulted another woman today.
Yeah.
I was like-
I've only seen that season once.
Yeah, that's
I
the
did
latest
not like it.
season. That one
That
had
season
some like
kind of.
it was okay. It was okay. There were some good moments. I'm just trying to remember the other ones I liked in that season.
None
but
of the original writers were there for it.
I think it
Aaron
was
Magruder wasn't even on
yeah.
it.
It was very toned down, like because of that though.
Yeah.
It wasn't as like egregious, but there was like a backstory episode when I think in season 3. Is that when they go back to Chicago, and he's like, "My name is."
When they see Granddad's like war friend who took
Yeah.
all credit for Granddad's work.
Yeah, what was his name? It's my name is Raheem. Mama say Mahusa.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum. Jenkins. And then I'm trying to think of the other one on there too. I just love that season. That season's good. Season 3 is one of my favorite seasons.
Season 3 is really funny.
But
I feel like season 1 is really almost kind of like more serious. Like it's still really funny,
Yeah.
but it's almost like more to like the story of Huey. And then season 2 is like just all kinds of like goofy episodes, and season 3 is like a good mix of both. Plus, like they had like no budget on the first season.
Well, the second episode of season 2 is the trial of R. Kelly. Like
Yeah,
the
which
first
is
episode,
fucking crazy.
the second episode of season 1 is the trial of R. Kelly, and it's Riley talks to Tom because Tom's the prosecutor in the case, and
Yeah.
he's like,
Oh, and he just fucking destroys
He's
him.
like, when I was little, when me and Huey used to share a bed, I used to have a little accident. Am I going to jail? It's like, no one's gonna get mad at you for bedwetting. He's like, I'll
Yeah.
rest my case.
So funny.
It's like, when I see someone peeing, I move out the way. I was like, oh my god, insane. Oh, and I think another part of the comics that's different is Riley is a lot like not smarter. He's smart in the show too, but he's a lot more
like,
progressive.
tame.
He's more progressive in the comic, but he's more progressive to a point where like he gets like he just likes to enjoy things still in the comics. So
Yeah.
like he's very progressive, and then there's like a comic later on. They're talking about like it's all about California, like the governorial race of California, and it's like this long thing, and it keeps going. It's like a whole like 3 months of this commentary, in the comic, and Riley's like on the front, like being like, "Damn, politics is stupid." Like these, I thought it's really funny to read that like those sections because it's like this is what we thought insane politics looked like in 2003, and it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger versus I think Nadar or something like that, or some other person for California, and then it gets to a point where then Riley's just holding a sign that's like what's his name? Oh my god, he's a little person.
I don't know.
I can't think of his name. It's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me. I have to like.
Damn, what's up with your phone case, dog?
Don't worry about it.
How many times you dropped that shit?
Never.
That's just being at the gym.
That's just That's
throwing
from
your shit around.
Purest from my aura. My what is it? Spiritual pressure from Bleach just knocked all the stuff off.
Gary Coleman?
Gary Coleman. It was Gary Coleman for governor. That's what it was. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name, but that was a sign. It says Gary Coleman for governor, and then it's just Huey saying, "I knew you'd get to this point."
That's so funny.
So
I feel like we've been pretty all over the place. My notes are not as great as they normally are, but I have I feel like a good roadmap for us to follow here.
Okay.
What I did, instead of like the traditional way where I do notes, where I kind of like make a whole script, I kind of just have like a couple of notes on each character, because in the Boondocks, it's almost like over the course of the 4 seasons, it's like each character gets like 3 episodes each that they're like the focus on in a way. Some characters get more screen time, but like for the most part, it's kind of like each one has like their own little arcs. So for Huey, this one's pretty simple. I just have Huey as a 10-year-old retired black radical revolutionary who was a near master martial artist, and he's most often the narrator and main focus of the show. And like a lot of what Huey goes through, especially in the first season, I feel like is him sort of like becoming more jaded than he was when he lived in the city, and just kind of like calming down from living in Woodcrest and just dealing with all of the racist bullshit he deals with, but like in a different way, whereas like he's used to just like straight violence. And then for Riley, I have Riley's Huey's 8-year-old younger brother. He's able to go toe to toe with Huey in martial arts. Oh man, I just saw in my notes, this is probably my favorite episode, was Riley Was Here, where Riley starts tagging all the houses with graffiti.
Yeah, I love that episode.
And it looks like shit. And then Granddad's like, for punishment, you're going to go to art school. And then it's the guy who, when he was tagging that first house Riley was here on, he was like, "What are you trying to say in your art?" And it's like not Bob Ross. It doesn't, I don't even think it says the teacher's name. His name's like literally art teacher in the credits. But after he not finishes his classes, after going to a couple of classes, he tags like a fruit bowl on someone's house, and then everyone in the neighborhood actually loves his art, and no one believes that it's him that's doing it because he was just tagging bullshit this whole time.
And Granddad doesn't believe it either.
Granddad doesn't even believe it. So then Riley goes into the photo album and finds a picture of his parents, who is like now confirmed that they passed away. They didn't really say it in the show. And he tags Granddad's house with a big mural of them at their wedding. Yeah. And it brings Granddad to tears before he tells Riley to get that shit off his house.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite episodes. I think also like it's the only time Granddad's ever been a solid parent in the entire show.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, you're doing something wrong, I'm putting you in art class.
Yeah.
And
so you can do something
do something good with it. And then I think that moment too is like, if you want to dig deeper, you know, it's like their whole conversation about previous generations of black people and not being able to express emotion or show gratitude in a time, whatever. and like Granddad
Definitely.
is like giving him as much respect. Like he I feel like in like the perfect, ideal world for Granddad, he doesn't take the mural down. He keeps it up. Like in his mind,
Yeah,
he
but
would
he lives
never
in
take it down.
Woodcrest now. Yeah,
Yeah, and then but he knows he has to, because
yeah,
he's like, everyone else covered their painting, their murals up. I have to cover mine up, even though
yeah.
like I would never want to do that. Because I think Granddad's their mom's dad, right?
No, it's
Is their
their
dad's
dad's
dad?
dad.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Uh, yeah.
yeah, and I was like, this is just, mm,
And I feel like that episode just kind of like for the whole course of the show up until that point, especially Riley's just kind of like a wild badass, gangster ass, real ass ninja dude,
mm-hmm.
you know.
And I
And this
think,
gives him like an actual sense of
yeah,
humanity.
I think that Huey's character is very easy to understand.
Yeah.
And like people like who are like kind of like in my lane of thinking in general like to like compare themselves to Huey or think that Huey is like always right, but like the whole point of Huey's character is that you're not supposed to you're not supposed to be like Huey. You're supposed
Yeah.
to like you're supposed to take qualities from both Huey and Riley because they're both the main character.
Yeah.
Huey is not exclusively the main character of the story. Um
And like what
and
you were saying earlier, they changed Riley a lot to be more like, I don't know,
yeah,
for the show.
for the show. And even then, like, it was still Aaron McGruder who did that. It wasn't like that was just like
Yeah,
the
no,
editors
yeah,
were like,
yeah.
let's make Riley crazier for the thing. And Riley's still like not
Yeah.
like not crazy in the comics. He's just different, like a little different. But Riley's character is so misunderstood because Riley is connected to the culture deeply. Like that is the point of Riley's character. Beyond like
Yeah.
Riley doing all that like nonsense and whatever, but Riley still knows about everything that's going on within black culture. And Huey doesn't. Huey is not connected to it the same way because
A lot of the intro to the episodes is them like watching TV together on the couch and seeing some crazy shit on the news.
yeah. And it's like Huey has like this sort of disdain towards aspects of black culture that Riley thrives in, and that's
Yeah.
like the point is that like you can criticize something while being involved in it because it's your culture. um and like that's what the whole thing. And then there's like obviously Riley does a lot of stuff that's like wrong, and that's the point is that Riley can't be right all the time. He's not supposed to be right all the
Yeah.
time. But Huey isn't right most like all the time either. Like that was the whole, that they have to exist in parallel because they both care about black people at the end of the day. Now,
Yeah.
then the way that it's shown is different. But yeah, Riley's character is misunderstood. Also, Riley is way smarter than like everyone else in the show.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorite episodes with Riley's the Riley episode is the mafia episode when he starts the candy business.
The fundraiser.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
it's funny because it's that episode is it's it's communism. Like Riley sees capitalism working and goes, I don't think that's fair, and starts a
Yeah.
candy business where he's paying his employees a fair wage for what he's making. And that's like the whole thing. But he
Yeah.
doesn't understand that's what he's doing. But he's
Yeah.
like emotionally intelligent enough to realize that what's happening is wrong. So he
Right.
made it better. And like that's like one of my favorite episodes. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what you should be doing. You don't have to understand. And that was like more like you don't have to be reading doctrine about, anti-capitalist, anti-white supremacist, these ideas. You don't have to do those things to practice, other things. Obviously,
Yeah.
that episode is crazy. It ends up with the mob being involved in this chocolate ring.
Yeah. It's like a Scarface
Yeah.
homage.
It's so funny. He said, what was it? Riley's like,
Fuck you.
Yeah, he's like, if I was smarter, I'd probably take the deal and leave. But no, that's not what this is about. He's like, fuck you, fuck your fucking ugly ass suit, fuck your friends, fuck your family.
Yeah. No, Regina Jones is crazy.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Yeah.
And she voices both
Of them. And I think that's also why, like, they're both like so important. Like that whole, the dichotomy of the two. You feel me? The
Yeah.
Ooh, big word. I'm gonna get a big word counter for this episode. Sting.
Or I said Regina Jones. I
It is
meant
Regina
Regina
King.
King. I'm an idiot.
It's okay.
I was like,
Thank you, man.
whoops.
You know, a couple weeks ago I said that George Foreman was the one that got his ear bit off by Mike Tyson.
No, it was Floyd.
It was
I
Evander
almost
Holyfield.
just said it was Floyd Mayweather. Yeah.
It was Evander Holyfield, and
Yeah,
I wasn't even. I know who it was. I just was not thinking, and then my friends were like, "No, that's not who that happened to."
I
was
know.
like, yeah.
I'm so excited to have this podcast with you and just say fucking fake news
Fake
shit
news.
all the time like
Start
that.
spreading false information,
Spreading misinformation on
Yeah.
my heavily researched work I do.
Yeah, just love doing that. Regina Jones.
Just because I don't know how to talk. Yeah. I don't know why I even said Jones. It's
Rashida.
just,
Rashida
that's us,
Jones?
I guess. I don't know.
Probably thinking of Rashida Jones.
So that was Riley, and this is just like quick, brief summaries because a huge part of the show, our show, Astral FM, I don't really want to like exactly lay things all out for you and make you not interested in watching it. The reason we talk about these things is because we love them and like want to
Yeah.
talk about things we love to you guys. So next up, I have Robert Freeman, aka Granddad. He is the paternal grandfather and legal guardian of the boys, who's voiced by John Witherspoon, R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
He was a former World War II pilot and accidental civil rights activist.
He's also like
Granddad.
either 70 or like 190 years old.
Yeah,
Like
they don't ever say.
No.
It's so funny. He worked his entire life to be able to afford to live in Woodcrest, and while the boys dislike the suburbs after growing up in Chicago, they do respect Granddad enough to know when to reel themselves in so as not to put him at risk of being kicked out of the community. And a big thing about Granddad is he really wants to find love in his old age.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the Cristal episode, which
Yeah,
is the first
I was thinking
Pitman
about
Slick
that.
Back episode.
Yeah, I was thinking literally about that. Cristal,
That
the
one's
K, like
good. Yeah, like the
the
champagne.
champagne.
Yeah,
Okay, Cristal, like the champagne.
that one and the what's her name? Ebony.
Yeah. Oh,
Is it? I don't remember. I don't remember her last name.
she
on
like
the
is
show, but it's
crazy.
Ebony. No, she's awesome.
Wait, who's the one that's crazy and like, it's not Cristal, because Cristal's like lazy and eats all their food.
Yeah, and an actual hoe.
In an actual.
Yeah, the Ebony episode is she's just like a beautiful,
And then she goes to
awesome black woman,
Peace Corps,
which is like
or something like that. She goes away.
no. So she's just like an awesome, beautiful black woman, which is like the first time in the show they show black women in like a positive light, ironically. Most of the like portrayals of black women in the show are pretty like stereotypical and pretty
Bad.
rough, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like the Ebony, the whole point of her is to show like black excellence in women, which is awesome. But she's like so awesome and so pretty that she's like getting all this attention from other dudes, and it makes Granddad like all jealous and weird and act like a dickhead and blow the relationship that would have been like
Yeah.
perfect for
I
him.
remember now what happened. Yeah, so she goes to the relief effort. I think I don't know when this took place. It might have been Haiti.
Oh yeah,
and she doesn't have service, and he's blowing up her phone.
Yeah,
and then he
yep,
flies down there to be with her.
yeah,
And then she's like, "You can't do this. Like, this isn't healthy for you."
yeah. No, you're right.
And that's when it ends, because she's like, "I don't want to be someone that's doing this to you." And that's like that's
Yeah.
like, again, like she's just like consistently a good person, even
Exactly.
yeah. So then I rock
I
with
think
that.
that's season 3.
Yeah, it was
or
season
season
2, season 3. I think it was season 3 because that was pretty late into the show. I remember that one because it's like, oh man,
Yeah, he blew it, dude.
He blew it, dude.
And there's a lot of good Granddad episodes. Like the Stink Meaner episodes in every season
are great.
are just banger
He
ass
comes
episodes.
back from
all
the
of
dead.
them. And
The
possesses
Halloween one.
time. Yeah.
And
Breed, Eva, breed.
what was the other? This is another Granddad. When Granddad goes to he goes to is it the Bahamas or Jamaica? He goes like somewhere. He goes on vacation and leaves.
And
Tom,
leaves the boys alone.
Yeah, he leaves the boys alone, and Tom is like by himself.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where are we going, buddy?"
Yeah.
He's, Robert, I know you left without me.
So funny.
And then
And then that episode is awesome too, because Huey and Riley like beat
the shit out of each
ass.
other. Yeah, out of each other.
Yeah.
Right.
After Huey like makes Riley a prisoner. Basically.
Yeah, and that's also like that episode's really good because it's again the same thing as Huey in an episode that's not and nothing happens. Like nothing happened in that episode. Like like Granddad left for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to like they drove off all the babysitters and stuff, whatever, like the classic tropes. And then like Huey becomes the exact thing he hates.
Yeah.
Within seconds because he feels like he has to corral Riley. And like all Riley did was spend the money that Granddad left.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like Riley like killed somebody or like did it was like it was like reckless for sure, but he just spent money.
Yeah.
And Huey's like, "You're going in the damn closet and I'm not sleeping and I'm going to shoot you with this gun every time you move."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Man."
And then when Granddad gets home, and it just shows how much they do all love each other. But the whole house is fucked up, and Granddad's like, go get my bill.
He's like, no, he's like, honestly, it's not as bad as I thought.
Oh,
it's not as bad as I thought.
And there's just a bunch of other really great Granddad focused episodes. Those three are like definitely, obviously the main characters of the show. Have the most screen time. But then I have these three lumped together kind of. It's Tom, Sarah, and Jasmine DuBois.
Yeah.
Which, Tom is an attorney and neighbor to the Freemans. And the joke here is that he's their Uncle Tom. In one episode, the Neighborhood Watch accused the Freemans of all the local break-ins, which I think were actually Ed, Onceler, and Gin Rummy.
Yeah, it was.
Doing it.
Yeah.
But Tom stands up for them to the Neighborhood Watch, which is like really cool to see because he's always like kind of a pussy all the time.
Yeah.
Sarah is Tom's wife, who is white and is very comfortable about their marriage, which is cool to see, even though the Usher episode is pretty funny and pretty fucked up that she kicks him out for being jealous of Usher.
It's Usher.
Which I brought up earlier, but leads to the Let It Burn song, which is just a
banger.
I feel like, it's so good. I wish we could play it on the podcast. It's so funny.
You might be able to lead away with playing like part of the clip of the show's version of it.
I might. I'll try. I'll see. It's just the music might pop it off. But Jasmine is Tom and Sarah's daughter. She is biracial and can be a little bit naive. And it's implied that she has a crush on Huey, who always lets her be around him. And most of the time towards everybody in general, Huey's always like really cold and reserved and standoffish. But in one episode, he even gives her a scarf when she's cold at the end, which is like a pretty huge thing to see. I feel like she's like his...
Attack on Titan stole that.
Oh, did they? That's funny.
No, I just was joking, but
Mikasa
probably.
scarf?
Yeah, Mikasa's scarf is just a Huey. It's a Huey reference. Average Huey fan.
She's just like one of the only people to really be there for Huey at like all times, and it's nice.
Yeah, the episode with Jasmine and Huey's trying to break his friend out of prison because he's on death row, and Jasmine's like, "I can't go with you. I'm not. It's past my curfew." And he's like, "Jasmine, it's a man's life." She's like, "I'll go next time. I'll go next time."
That's such a good like dynamic. So funny. That episode is fucking crazy. When at the end, Huey like
goes,
prays for the first time up on the hill, and he's like, I just need a miracle to help my friend out, and then lightning strikes Uncle Ruckus. This is the same episode when he has the white church to get into white heaven.
yeah.
It strikes Uncle Ruckus, and then it causes a blackout in the city, which turns the electric chair off, which the blackmail Huey sent to the governor works out, and then he lets his friend out of prison. And then at the end, Huey looks up in the sky, and he's like, I don't need you. We make our own miracles to God, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah. After God just intervened.
Yeah, that was actual divine intervention.
Divine
Huey's
intervention.
Like, I did this shit
I
myself.
did that myself, bro. On God, for real.
For real, for real.
And trying to think the other episode with Tom. Tom has a lot of episodes about going to prison, which made him.
Yeah, that was in the first season.
It was more because there's this Scared Straight episode too.
Yeah.
And
I am okay.
Bootay.
Sorry to interrupt you. I've been using your Max to watch these episodes the past couple days. That shit is uncensored as fuck. It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it wasn't.
What was his name? Oh my god, the Dateline guy, Chris Hansen. I don't know who you
Chris
are,
Hansen.
Mr. Hansen.
Yeah.
Huh?
Thing
Yeah.
is, I like you, and I want you.
I like it, and I want you. You can do this the easy
We
way.
can do this the
or
easy way?
way.
Or the hard way.
That was insane.
It's fucked.
It's so fucked up. That episode is like one of my least favorite episodes of the whole show because I get so uncomfortable watching it. I'm like,
But
this
then-
is making my stomach hurt real bad.
The beginning of the episode when Tom gets falsely accused of murder, he has the nightmare of Terry Crews, which is voiced. It's not
Yeah.
actually Terry Crews, but it's voiced by Terry Crews in the shower, and his dick is like touching his ankles. And I was not ready for Max to not have the black bar on there that I've seen every other time I've watched
that
the
episode.
Boondocks.
Boom. Then
Ugh.
that episode is funny when they're like, he's like, I'm a prosecutor. I would never fall for this. I would never ever give a
And
false confession.
The clock.
shows 5 minutes go by, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
You're saying
wait a
if
minute.
I plead guilty,
If
I
say
won't go
did
to
it,
jail.
I won't go to jail." He's like, "You won't go to
Shut
jail,
up.
Tom." Okay.
No anal rape.
No anal rape. No anal
anal
rape.
rape. I'm so fucked.
Okay. And then trying to think of the other episodes with Tom that were like huge that I remember every day.
We talked about the R. Kelly one.
Yeah, the R. Kelly one.
I don't. Oh, the Stinkmeaner one, where Stinkmeaner
He
possesses him.
Tom.
We said that earlier, but we didn't really talk about
Yeah.
it. But Stinkmeaner possesses Tom, and it's hilarious. What's good? I can't even say it. So
Tom.
you say it.
What? I can't. I don't know if I can right now. I feel like I might have reached my limit.
I know. There's man.
I can only
the
say it so many
Boondocks
times.
has so many.
What's good, nigga? I can't do it like him. He's with a Q. It's like a Q in
That's
there.
the same voice actor. If you didn't know,
Yeah.
Stinkmeaner and Tom.
Are the same person?
Yeah,
I never
so
knew
it's
that.
already the same
That
guy.
makes it way funnier. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's. I think it's Craig Jones, who's
Yeah.
one of the writers.
That's actually so funny. Who's the next person we got here?
Who also in that episode, real quick, Stinkmeaner is possessing Tom, and him and Uncle Ruckus become friends because of their hatred for
They just
black
hate
people.
and that's how they get him to get out of his body.
Yeah,
It's because they bring Ruckus in, and they're like, "I actually like you.
you know what? You're not so bad.
You're not so bad for it." Yeah.
So funny. This is a good transition to my next set of notes on Uncle Ruckus, who is probably the main antagonist of the show.
Yeah.
He's extremely racist towards black people while being black himself. He's overweight with a glass eye and fucked up teeth. He claims to have vitiligo, which is the opposite of the Michael Jackson disease. He has a mastery of nunchaku, as well as hand-to-hand combat, which there's an episode when they break in to see Soul Plane 2, which just looks funny as fuck. What does she say? She's like, "Thank you for sacrificing yourself, Air Marshal 50 Cent. I ain't sacrificing my motherfucking son." Throws the flight attendant in the
I'm gonna land this
And
plane or die
It
trying.
is 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or die trying.
So funny.
But
in that episode,
Air Marshal 50 Cent.
yeah, Air Marshal 50 Cent. In that episode, they sneak in a bunch of snacks and shit, and Uncle Ruckus is apparently
He's an
has
usher.
every job
He's
in
an-
Woodcrest. Yeah, and he's a usher, and they finds him, so they have to sneak out of the movie theater. And Ruckus and Huey have like a really great choreographed fight.
Incredible.
The fights in the Boondocks are really slept on. I gotta
They're
say.
really good. The stink meter, I think 2 with when they come back and fight.
That's the
Black.
hateocracy.
What's his name?
Bushido Jones,
Bushido Jones. Dude, that was insane.
who was Oprah's bodyguard when they had the Let's Nab Oprah episode.
Yeah, and then they hire him, and that's another great fight is between him and Huey.
Man, that girl, the old lady that fights Riley and fucking puts ass to belt is fucking crazy. It's so
Yeah,
good.
who's
I
the-
can see it's like the weight of the punches are just like
Mink,
It's
mink,
so
mink,
good.
mink. But there's the he had that chain with the because he dies, like Bushido Jones dies, and he puts the chain with the like pizza cutter head on top,
yeah.
and it cuts his head off, and it doesn't show
Yeah.
his head cut off. It just shows like the silhouette of it, and then Riley's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, oh.
It's so funny.
And it's like, and
It's so fucking funny.
because it's like I feel like every
the
other
hateocracy.
yeah, every other like cartoon would handle that being like, oh my god,
I think I think I'm just gonna put it out there. If you haven't seen the Boondocks, the hateocracy is a great first episode to watch.
so good. And
It's so good.
Riley's like, oh no, they cut his head off.
It's
It's like, what do we do now? And he's like,
Damn, I had something else I was about to say.
Talk about
that,
Uncle
but-
Ruckus. We're still on. That was all about Ruckus and his choreographed
Yeah, there's a lot of
fighting.
Uncle Ruckus episodes.
A lot of them. The backstory where you find out that he has the Benjamin Button backstory, but for real, like,
Yeah. And then it's not even true. He's black.
blacker.
When he has the White Heaven episode and he like is talking to oh, this is actually a band episode. I don't even know if it's on
It was on
HBO.
Max. The Ronald
Is
Reagan
it?
one. He talks to Ronald Reagan.
Yeah,
in White
he talks to
Heaven.
Ronald Reagan. Yeah, and he
He
sees
turns
himself
him
in the
white.
well, and yeah, with a blue eye and blonde hair. So funny.
What did Ronald Reagan say? He's like,
I
God
don't
loves
know.
white people.
Yeah,
And that was like the end of the sentence.
yeah. So
Oh.
fucking good.
He said it was it's like God loves all of his people just differently, you know? That's why he divided heaven into separate and somewhat equal parts. And that
That's
was
so funny. Just Jim Crow.
yeah.
Heaven.
Yeah. Heaven, Jim Crow
That's
heaven.
Awesome.
And he's
Um,
like he told granddad, he's like, if you want to get into heaven, you have to hate yourself.
He's so funny.
Insane.
And it's like you were saying earlier about being too soft. It's really not. It's just so fucking
you have
funny.
to like if you get the joke, it's hilarious. But if you like are misunderstanding it intentionally, or like not even intentionally, just like you don't understand the joke and you think it's funny, then that's when there's like a problem with it.
Yeah.
My friend went as Uncle Ruckus for Halloween that's last year, and he was like, I felt horrible doing that. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm just like,
But that's
he's like, I just like,
that's why it's funny.
he's like, I felt horrible dressing as Uncle Ruckus. He's like, I was
so
like big
funny,
and I had no one else to do a costume with, so I was like, I'm just gonna go as Uncle
Yeah.
Ruckus and show up.
This isn't an Uncle Ruckus episode that I'm about to think of, but he has a part in it that's so funny. The episode I'm thinking of is the one when it's called, I think the episode is called Smoking with Cigarettes,
Yeah,
when Riley is friends with,
cigarettes.
it's Terrio, but his name is like LaMilton.
Lil Milton. Yeah.
I think it's the Milton, and it's just a rip Ontario when he's like stole his grandma's car, and he's like, and my friend came over and he was smoking with cigarettes, and they just do hood rat shit
I just like
with my
I just
Evas.
like to do hood. No, this is my friends. I just like to do
With my friends,
I like to
yeah.
do hood rat shit with my friends.
And he's basically
Smoking
like
with
influencing
cigarettes.
Riley. I guess this is a Riley throwback, but he's like influencing Riley to do all this bad shit. Like they throw a baby doll off the freeway and it lands on a windshield and it's fucked. Like it's pretty fucked. And just they do hood rat shit together until the end. No, like the midpoint when it starts to become like a horror movie when
Yeah.
Le Milton's like stalking Riley and trying to fuck with him more until it becomes like Juice.
Yeah.
Did you watch Juice?
No. Wait.
Oh man, you gotta watch Juice.
Watch Juice.
So Juice was a movie in the early '90s with Tupac and Omar Epps and a bunch of other dudes.
Let me look up
Biz
the-
Markie was
Let
in
me look
it.
at the cover of it. 'Cause
You
I
gotta
feel like I
watch
watched
Juice
it, but
after
I don't
this.
remember it.
I know we watched it at Dad's. You probably
I
just don't
know
remember.
that because I remember Dad talking about Juice. I just
Yeah.
remember like vividly seeing.
So, in Juice,
I'm gonna watch this
they
again.
are friends in high school. They're like skipping school, fucking around. The whole first hour of the movie is so funny until they start doing actual hood rat shit with their friends, and then they rob a convenience store. And they rob the convenience store, and right when they're like walking out, Tupac just shoots and kills the clerk working there. And then they're
Yeah,
like, dude,
I
what
remember
the
now.
fuck?
I remember now.
And so then they run, and then they get arrested, and I don't think they snitch on Tupac, whose name is Bishop in the movie, but then Bishop gets out of jail or gets out of holding or whatever. I gotta watch Juice again, and he starts killing all his friends because he thinks they snitched on him. Until at the end when they fight on the rooftop, him and Omar Epps, and then Omar throws him off the roof, which is what this episode parodies in a way with Le Milton. But while they're fighting up on the roof, Uncle Ruckus works as a janitor at the school that they're fighting on, and he comes up and he's like, "Now what's all this mess here then?" And then they're like, just two weebas killing each other, carry on," and then just leaves. It's so fucking funny. And then Riley throws Le Milton off the roof,
Yeah,
like in Juice.
I definitely remember watching Juice. I don't remember. I think I watched it when I was like 7, 6.
You gotta watch it again. It's so good.
6, 7.
It's just actually a good ass movie. You gotta watch it. Last time I watched it, I was probably like during COVID, like when I was locked in the house watching movies all the time.
I'm gonna watch Juice like this weekend. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. Matter of fact, I
You
got
should watch it.
time today.
Watch it with your girl.
Shit, she's in New York right now. I don't want to talk about it. It's
Shit.
hard. It's hard. It's
Alright.
hard today. It's a hard day.
All right. Back on topic.
Start wiping my tears.
Do you have another Ruckus episode?
Ruckus has a lot of episodes. Let me lock in real quick. Let me lock in.
Or just anything you want to throw in about
Yeah.
Uncle Ruckus?
There's a scene where Ruckus and Granddad are playing chess in the park, and Granddad goes.
Oh, yeah.
Granddad makes a
is
joke,
early.
and he goes, what did R. Kelly say to Kobe? he said, I don't know. He's like, don't let this trial get you away from the white women. And they both laugh so
on so
hard.
many different levels.
They both laugh so hard. He goes, I like you, Robert. You're not that bad.
You're one of the good ones.
One of the good ones. Oh, the Obama episode. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
There's the Obama episode.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And cause Huey's like, we're not a team. I got gas money, he got a car. And he's
Yeah.
like, where do you want to go? Like when you leave, Huey? I can't do the Ruckus voice like at all. And I have to do like only for certain lines.
That's hard
He's
all
like,
the time.
He's like, I don't know, like the Ivory Coast. Like, no, we're not going to those African monkey countries.
Oh my god.
He's like, we're going
He's
to
so
Canada. I'm thinking
fucking
Canada,
awful.
Scotland, like Norway, Canada, Scotland. Like,
Yeah. He's so fucking
he's
just
so
awful.
horrible. And then the other one, are the that same episode. He has the paper cut out of Obama, and
Yeah.
puts a brick through its head.
It's so good.
And then there's the episode when it's like I think all of season 4, Ruckus becomes like a main figure in BET. He has his own TV show and then like series of TV shows. And then the lady who runs BET was like, Ruckus is perfect for BET.
Yeah.
And
that's also making fun of that dude. I can't remember whose name it is. That like got the Boondocks off the ground initially, sorta. Who like was friends with Mike Lazo, but they don't fucking like that guy.
Probably not. BET, they really hated BET a lot. There's that one episode where Huey watches BET for I think a week straight.
Yeah, BET sued them.
Yeah, and
he did the Super Size Me thing where he watched it for a month.
Yeah, and he like
his
he like
eyes
forgot how to read.
Like, yeah, it's so funny.
There's more Uncle Ruckus episodes. I just can't think of them. The first episode of the series, Uncle Ruckus is in, and he's like, "All right, y'all, I'm gonna sing y'all a song. Don't trust those niggas over there." And I was like, every time I watch the rest of them, I'm like, I can't. We gotta start beeping some of these. You gotta beep at least 3. That one, you can beep that one. Anytime I'm talking as Ruckus and I say something racist, beep it. I'm not dark enough for that one. I can't get away with that.
Yeah.
Paper bag test is beating my ass.
I think it's the first episode when Ed Wensler comes up to Granddad and just tries to meet him after Granddad buys the house. And Wensler's like, I just want to invite whoever owns my property into my family. I'm paraphrasing. And they like have a meeting in Granddad's house. And he sits at the table and he's like, they were just talking about how white people love cheese. And he's like, would you like some cheese? And Ed Wensler's like, did you just offer me some cheese? Granddad's like, yeah. He's like, I'd love some cheese. Thank you.
that one. And then
they go to his house and then
Riley shoots.
Uncle Ruckus is the guard of the house and he's like, we got a code black. He's like, Ruckus, what the fuck is a code black? We got 3 hungry looking Ebas out here. So fucked. That's the first time you see Uncle Ruckus.
And Riley shoots fucking Ed Wensler the third out the window.
Yeah.
Season 4.
Are these real guns? If I put the gun to your head and pull the trigger, are you dead? What?
Oh my god! And then Jin Rummy in the car in the Tom episode, when Tom's falsely accused.
Yeah.
He goes, "There's no knowns and known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns." What?
The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
What? Say what one more time? Say what one more time?
Say what again, motherfucker?
Say it.
So good.
I love
they
that
got
episode.
him to do Pulp Fiction.
I love that episode so much. That's like one of my favorite episodes too, just because and they go to the he's like, the killer's house is around the street. I would like a tasty beverage.
That is okay. That is a good transition into my next notes. Ed Wensler III and Jin Rummy, voiced by Charlie Murphy and Samuel L. Jackson. Ed Wensler and Jin Rummy, voiced by the 2 blackest motherfuckers of all time, are actually gangsters from wealthy families and are parodies of George W. Bush and Donald Rumsfeld. And that entire convenience store scene is a parody of Baghdad, of the war in the Middle East, the whole thing.
And then it's so good. It's like there's that.
It's so good.
And then
it is a 5-minute breakdown of everything that happens in the war in the Middle East. And
you see, he's got a gun. He's got a gun.
The whole time in the car they were talking was Riley was like, what did you do while you were in Iraq? And they were like, we were looking for weapons of mass destruction. And he's like, well, did you find them? And then he goes, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. What? And then when they're in the convenience store, that's when the shit happens. When with the cop, and oh my god, that is so funny because that cop gets shot the fuck up, and then they use the same
The same clip.
the same clip, not even like the same
No,
animation.
it's
They
the
go
same
to like
exact
the
clip.
same
He's
clip.
like, he goes, "What's your name?" George?
Frank?
No, Fred? His name's Fred. He's like, "My name's Fred."
He says that's the joke.
Yeah.
Also, he's like Frank, and they're like, "All right, Fred."
"All right, Fred. Here's what's gonna happen. You are not gonna die today." He's actually, I feel fine. Fred, you're not gonna die today. And then he's like, "No, I think I can actually stand up. I think I'll be."
Yeah, the
He's
same
like,
clip
the same
again.
clip again.
So funny.
I could use a tasty beverage. I could go for a drink. He's around the corner. We're gonna go get a drink. We'll come back and we'll get your friend out of jail.
So funny.
And then said the Xbox.
This motherfucker's obviously of terrorist descent.
You want to die
He's
today?
got a gun. I don't see a gun. You got to the count of 3 to show me your fucking gun.
Yeah.
To hand over your gun.
Hand over your gun. I don't have a gun.
Whose side are you on, motherfucker?
I don't see one. So I can't believe he had a gun. He walked up the
I
store.
can't believe they shot back.
They never shoot back. I can't believe they shot back.
Of course you shot back. They shot back. You robbing their store. That doesn't mean I expect them to shoot back.
It's unknown. That's what he said.
That's what he
He
said.
said, "It's unknown." And then they walk out. And then they're like 2 veterans are heroes of the
The
convenience
fuck
store.
y'all looking at? That's what
They have
he
a
says like
couple
every
episodes
time he's on
together.
this show.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Other. They have a couple of like big they're in there for a long time. There's a
Let's nab Oprah.
the Nav Oprah episode. Who they take instead? They took the wrong person. They
Yeah.
took Whoopi, I think, right?
I don't
Or
remember
was it-
who they took, honestly.
It was like a different like black woman.
It was
with
like
a
a
book.
dude.
It was, I mean, I'll think about it. But they took the wrong person, and then they were like
They do it like 3 times.
3 times, and I think Riley's gonna go try to kidnap Oprah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man.
they're so. That's like I love that show. I just love those episodes specifically. Again,
Yeah.
because they're just so insane. And I had like now that you're saying that like the whole like the George W. Bush thing, like I
Yeah.
never thought
German
of that
film.
being like them.
That's
I've
what-
always known
That's what they are.
that scene, like that scene in the convenience store was like, it's very much like a parody, like an extreme parody of
For the Iraq
the war
war.
on, the
Yeah.
war on terror, and
Yeah.
like I've always known that, like that's exactly what it was, but I never thought about Ed Wuncler the third being George
George
Bush.
W. Bush.
And then
Yeah.
I remember, like now it's just saying that the very first episode again, after he gets shot out of the window, he's like, Ed Winsler, the first guy,
Yeah,
number one,
his
numero
grandfather,
uno,
yeah.
is like, in 30 years he's gonna be the president of the United States and he'll still be a dumbass.
Yeah. He
Uh,
has a big diamond W chain.
Yeah, for the once.
Yeah.
Right now. Damn.
Yeah.
That's so funny, actually. I never put it together. I watched the show so many times. I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's actually hilarious.
I have one last character for as far as my notes, which is Thugnificent, who we brought up, who's a famous rapper and leader of the Lethal Injection Crew. Thugnificent is Riley's idol, who moves to Woodcrest. He forms a rivalry against Granddad and recruits Riley into Lethal Injection. The song Fuck Granddad is a banger and features Nate Dogg on the hook. He has a friend named Leonard, and in the episode Fried Chicken Flu, Thugnificent loses his house and all of his belongings when the rest of the Lethal Injection crew abandons him after losing all of his money. Thugnificent gets a job as a UPS driver, and Leonard is the only one there after all
Yeah.
the bullshit.
And then that episode is when the Soldier Boy parodies in that one.
Yeah, and that is like an allegory for how like the gangster rappers of the 90s and early 2000s kind of got like pushed aside for like the newer rappers like Soldier Boy in like
It,
just everybody
and
from
it's
the
also
2010s on, late
yeah,
2000s.
it's also about the commodification. Two big words
Whoa.
today of
All right.
of black entertainment and the not like the unstable like instability that is put onto like black musicians in particular.
Yeah.
Thugnificent is a product of of a culture that uses black art as profit. Like, it doesn't matter about it's like it's labor. It's still seen. You're
Yeah.
an artist, but your art is your labor. And so
Yeah.
when your time is done, when you're no longer culturally relevant, or if you're no longer the hot commodity,
Be
then you're
careful. You only
gone.
got a handful of those concussions left. You gotta
Yeah,
be careful with those
big
words.
words. The words are only coming out. But yeah, just got a little dizzy after that one. Um, but yeah, he just you're on a timeline. You have X amount of years to be rich and famous.
Yeah.
And as soon as that's done, you lose everything. And Thugnificent's character put everything on credit, bought this huge house, did everything like that, had all this money, all this fame, whatever.
Yeah.
And when he aged out of hip hop, which is like a whole other part of it, is that like Thugnificent isn't a bad person. Like what happens to him is not deserved because he's stupid. Like that is like
Yeah.
he becomes a UPS driver. It doesn't mean that him being a rapper was bad or what he did with his money was bad. What he did
Yeah.
with like what he earned was wrong. It just is like the world you exist in does not allow you to live like that.
Yeah.
Even though it was
But
promised to you.
a pretty cool part about him being a UPS driver is he still has like his like pride and integrity about
Mm-hmm.
him. Like he's still the same dude, and it's just cool that he's like no matter what like level of success, quote unquote. Ow, fuck! I can't do air quotes with two hands right now. I guess.
On the other hand,
Uh, my shit is killing me right now. But he's still the same dude. Like he's just the
yeah.
same dude. And then it's funny to see him in later episodes because his like puffs are cut off and he's just a UPS
This is
driver.
a driver. And I thought it was funny that he's based off Ludacris.
Yeah.
And
I could have sworn he was voiced by Busta Rhymes, but he's not.
the last episode is about Ludacris. Like that him becoming a UPS driver is like Ludacris beefing with Soulja Boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why it's even funnier. It was like an extreme example of what could have happened to Ludacris if he didn't make movies.
Yeah.
But
That's funny.
yeah,
Too fast.
too fast here, too furious.
20.
3 Fast, 3 Furious, 16.
Did you see Ludacris just got his pilot's license?
Really? I
Yeah.
went to Dreamville, the music festival. That's why I like when I was sick that whole week, and then I went to the music festival, and I was like, I feel like dog ass. Left and then I ate food for the first time, and it was like cheesy fries with buffalo chicken, and I was like, I think I'm dying.
Yeah.
But Ludacris performed there, and I missed it.
That's horrible.
Right,
I'd love to see him live.
right.
But I saw it on a TikTok that he got his pilot's license, and one of the first comments was like, "Now they're never gonna stop making Fast and the Furious movies." So funny.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think of any other characters that are like smaller. There's Susie.
There's so many
Susie-
characters, and they're all very well. But Susie is Riley's rival, right?
Yeah, and she's hilarious because Billie Eilish once said that she thinks of herself like Susie from the Boondocks,
That's funny.
and everyone was like, "That's a bad thing to say.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say that."
Yeah.
And then there's we talked about the Onslers, all the cameos, all the smaller stuff. There's
Oh, there's so many awesome guest actors.
who's CeeLo? CeeLo plays a reoccurring character.
Yeah, he plays. Yeah, I can see him. He has like the.
It's
Justin
something
Bieber
Love.
haircut.
It's like something Love. His last name, Robert.
Yeah.
No, is it something Good Love?
I know exactly.
Yeah,
I cannot.
I can't
place
think of
it.
his name. But there's an episode where what's her name? Ann Coulter and him are debating, and she after the
Yeah.
debate ends, she comes into the room. He's like, Hi, Ann. I don't know how I can do the CeeLo voice. Hey, Ann, how you doing? And then she's
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
I'm doing good. You know, Devondre's dumbasses, you know, yada, 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 always playing with my
Yeah.
time and shit. And then she's like, these crab cakes good as a mug. I fucks with these crab cakes.
Yeah, the joke of her being like ratchet is so funny.
It's so hilarious. I fucks with these crab cakes.
Man, there's so many good cameos. Oh, I was like watching the episodes earlier, like I said, and it was kind of funny to hear Gold Digger play in that Cristal episode.
Yeah. She
Different times, man, different times.
She take my money when I'm gonna get banned.
Well, fuck.
I'm sorry.
Well,
No, wait.
no, no.
I'm trying to think if there's any other characters I'm missing that I can think of off the top of my head right now, because I don't want to miss.
There's
it's-
definitely a ton.
It's so like deep in terms of like how many people are like involved, like involved, like I mean like the
I
people
feel
they
like-
talk about who are involved.
I feel like we went over the like main major ones.
Yeah,
I can't think of any main
like the
major.
side people.
Yeah.
Um,
We even talked about a pimp named Slickback.
we talked about pimp names. We did.
We talked about Bushido Jones.
Peak. That's
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Watch the Hateocracy.
such a good episode. Then I'm trying to think if there's any other episodes that I really like that we didn't talk about yet. So I just don't, I know there's a bunch that I would like love to talk about still, but I don't remember off the top of my head now. I like my notes for this episode were like talk about the comic, just how insane the comic is for a second, and then
I'm glad you had so much on the comic because it was hard to research that. Because it like wasn't really published on anything.
It's hard to find, but it's on the same website as that's the Tiger and Cal and
Oh, Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes, the same website that like the Shonen Jump for American
Yeah,
Shonen.
it was like just in newspapers, like
Yeah,
on the
but
Sunday Funnies.
They posted on the same website as Calvin and Hobbes. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it was like literally
Yeah.
just in whatever newspaper
So-
he could pitch it to.
Yeah, and then trying to think of this. So we'll just talk about the
Oh.
comic for a second, and then just freeball the show because I know the show enough
Yeah,
from memory.
I was gonna say it was cool when I think it was the Christmas episode, which had Stevie Wonder in it, and then it also had just Raekwon's ghost in there. It was really funny. It was like a Force ghost.
Yeah,
There's so many. It's such a nerdy ass show.
Yeah.
There's so many Star Wars references. There's so many like
Well, it's
old
a
kung fu
whole
movie,
it's a whole
Wu-Tang.
anime. Like it's a whole anime,
is.
and I think that's like why it's like I don't know. I think that there's like the perception of the black nerd is like the whole point of the show too. Like the black nerd
Yeah.
is very heavily focused on in it. But it's cool. Like it's just a cool show. Trying to think who does the intro for the show. I can't remember his
Oh, I
name.
had it written down. I think it's Asheru.
Yeah,
Asheru.
and something else.
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the. We're gonna end up doing basically all of Adult Swim's peak lineup.
Yeah, we're on a hot streak. American Dad's popping off again right now, and I haven't watched it in so long that I'm like, Seth
Huh.
MacFarlane's not my favorite guy. I
Yeah.
don't like Family Guy at all, but American
I
Dad is
don't.
hilarious. I
I do
can't.
not. Yeah.
I don't like Seth MacFarlane, but American Dad has its moments where I was like, you cooked with this one. You cooked with this
Yeah.
one. Same. That's how I feel with South Park too. South Park, I hate South Park like 95% of the time. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is a good
I-
episode.
I liked South Park basically until the movie came out. The movie was great. After the movie, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was 2000. I'm old as fuck. It's 25 years ago.
Obviously, hip hop's important in the show. It's really cool. The show is amazing. It's on Max. If you don't want to pirate it, you can go watch it on Max, because that is how that's how I've been recommending things.
I just use AJ's Max.
Yeah, I'll put my Max in the bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it. Just don't make a new account.
Please don't change the password.
Please don't
Yeah.
change the password, guys. That would be so messed up.
Please.
You know, I'll change
Is
all
there-
my passwords.
Is there anything else you want to throw in before we
Um,
wrap this up?
wrap it up. DJ D-Red, cut the beat. Um, no, I think I covered most of the stuff I wanted to talk about with. I'm just trying to think if I forgot anything. That's why I'm like going through.
I know every time we do an episode
I'm
for the
always
next 2
like,
weeks, I'm just thinking about
yeah, what I could
whatever
have talked, what I could have
forgot.
talked about. Um, no, I think I got it. I'm kind of scared to say I have everything, but that should be everything I was really thinking about with the show. I just love the show in general. It's one of those things like we were talking about earlier. Like I kind of grew up with it, like more so even probably even more so than you did. Like
Yeah.
you did like you were also like a child, like you were 10 watching the show. But like my first memories of like cartoons are like the Boondocks before
Yeah.
Chowder. Like it's like I watched the Boondocks. That was like one of my first cartoons I've ever remember like watching, and seeing so
That's
much
cool.
of it before anything else. And I think it also like kind of shaped my perception of the world really like a lot. Like I think a lot of my like early on thought processes came from the Boondocks, and I was like kind of lucky that I
Yeah.
had like the like awareness to understand the jokes when I was so
Yeah.
young. And I don't recommend showing it to a 5-year-old and being like, this is a really
No.
great way to learn.
You got to be at least 10.
You gotta be
like
at least
me.
10, yeah, to watch the Boondocks. But I really do think if like it's never gonna come back now, which is fine. It doesn't need to.
Yeah.
I just wish there was something like this right now.
Like everybody who's been on it like is dead now.
Or like they don't
Unfortunately.
want to do it again because people have passed away since doing it. Like
Yeah.
they just like it doesn't like I think when Charlie Murphy passed away, Regina King was like I can't do the show. I think that's like
Yeah.
how early on before because I know that who else? Who else? There's other
John Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon and someone else did too.
Yeah.
But like it's just one of those things where like it's not an issue with the timing of something. Like it's not an issue that our generation's softer than the last one or anything like that. It's an issue of the people who made the show don't want to make the show anymore. And it's not like they couldn't. It's not like there's nothing to talk about. It's not like they don't think the show's needed. It's that the people who are like integral to the show either can't be there or like don't want to do it with people who can't be there. And I think that's also a good part of the show. Like I think that also makes me like the show more now as like a adult because it's like there's a community within a show about community,
Yeah.
you know? And it makes me happy knowing that like everyone who worked on the show for the first 3 seasons was, you know, pretty
Like on the same
on the
page
same
with
the
everything.
same wavelength. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they knew they were making something important, and even though it's very heavily a comedy, they took it seriously.
I think it is one of the most important shows of the past 20 years. I think it has a lot to say politically and a lot of it holds up now.
Yeah,
And
like a lot.
yeah, I
And
think it really opens your eyes to like how stupid hating is. It's mostly not even about like how bad hating is. It's just about how stupid
Yeah,
you
it
fucking
just, like, look
when
dumb.
you're a piece of shit. Yeah, you just look like a horrible person and you are one. So don't be racist, don't be homophobic.
yeah.
Trans lives matter. Black lives matter. Fuck you. Trump can Anyway,
and
thank
when
you
we
so much for listening to the sultry voices of Astral FM. As always,
Sultry.
I am your host, Brian
Big word.
Jones.
Sultry. I feel like sultry is a good word. I'll put
Yeah.
it in the counter.
I'm your host, Brian Jones. I'm Chainsaw FM on everything, including RuneScape.
Yeah, I am Apricot FM on everything, and not including RuneScape. I don't have a
Soon.
RuneScape. Yeah, soon I'll get to level 20 in RuneScape. That's when it starts becoming impossible, right, to level up. When's it like? Either way,
What?
like the leveling system in RuneScape, when's it like start becoming mountainous?
92.
Okay, so I'll get to.
That's halfway.
Yeah. Anyway,
No, you'll
I
get
know.
to, I think, one total level 100. There's 2,277 levels in RuneScape. If you can get to level 100, you'll either like it or you won't.
it's like insane.
But that's a topic for another
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, and I started an Iron Man after I maxed my main. Yeah.
That's not what I was
buddy.
gonna say. I was gonna say it's insane that you got married. Sometimes I think about that. The the RuneScape.
Anyway, we are Astral FM. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Dang.
YouTube, Podbean, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music / Audible, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podchaser, Boomplay, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm your host, Brian. This is my co-host, AJ. Don't be a hater.
Yeah. Boom.
Stop crying. Everything's gonna be okay. Fuck. I love you.
Bye, guys.